What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about a woman by the name of Eleni Kassa. Her remains were found recently in the trunk of her girlfriend's car because she had gone missing and people were trying to figure out where she was, only for it to be found out what happened to her because her deranged, I would say ex-girlfriend, was driving around with her remains in her trunk, and they were looking for the car, and they spotted it, and I believe there was a chase, and the car crashed. And the girlfriend, her name is Dominque Hardwick, took the coward's way out. She ended herself with a female passenger with her. Let me say this. This is similar to a story I recently did because there was a subscriber that sent this to me on Instagram. I did not know of this story. I did not know of her being missing and what led up to it, the fact that it was a domestic situation between the both of them. And I do believe that Eleni tried to leave Dominque. And by the way, we're going to get into Dominque because Dominque has a history. A year prior to this situation, she allegedly, and I'm going to say alleged because I don't really know everything, but what I do know is that on Facebook, people are saying that she ended the life of a man back in 2021. This is the type of person that Dominque is, because I've seen people on there trying to defend her and try to make it seem like, they're really sorry that she passed, not understanding that she passed away because she took her life, because she took her girlfriend's life and had her remains in the trunk of her car and was on the run. And when they caught up to her, she ended herself. She, I'm going to say allegedly, took the life of this man. And she never was, arrested or charged with this that I know of. This is the type of person that this Dominque was. This is how dangerous of a person this woman was. And she took the life of a woman who was a mother. Let me say this. You have these lesbians, right? These studs. They date these single mothers. And I think a lot of these single mothers are in a bad place. I don't really think these women want to date these studs. I think they date these studs because these studs are some of the biggest simps out here. And they are willing to take care of these females, date them, right? And I do think a part of these women, like an Eleni, wasn't 100% bought into this relationship, especially after they started having problems. And I think ultimately that's why Eleni lost her life, is because I believe she wanted out. And Dominque, being the female simp that she wasn't going to let that happen. Because you see this person, this thing here, thinks that they're a guy. They think that they are a man. But when it comes to doing real man shit, she couldn't do it. She wants to cosplay and pretend to be a man. But when it comes to handling your business, when it comes to taking accountability and being able to walk away, you couldn't do it. Because no matter how much of a masculine female you think you are, you're just like every other woman that can't take rejection. And you got rejected and you decided to end this woman's life and put her body in the trunk of your car. And I don't know why you didn't think people were going to find out, but they did. So this woman, who should still be here, is no longer here. She's a mother. You didn't care about that. You just cared about your feelings. See, that's the problem that we have in our society, man. We have too many people who are getting with the wrong people, and it's a bad mesh, right? I don't think Eleni should have ever been in this relationship, but I believe she was in a vulnerable state like most of these women who end up in relationships with these other women while they have children. Like the video I did about the other female who was in a really bad relationship with this woman who couldn't let go, and she ended up taking her life. That's what happens here. These lesbians need to stick to dating other lesbians. Stop trying to date women who are not fully into women, because what's going to happen is you're going to be disappointed, right? Did she compare you to men, Dominque? Is that why you did what you did? Because she compared you to men, and she told you that you couldn't let your nuts hang because you ain't got none? Let's get into this commentary, man. I'm going to, got a couple different articles here, but I'm going to look at the one from the Detroit News. It says the police have identified one of the women involved in a Sunday shootout with police on the Detroit Dearborn border, and the human remains found in the back of the car, which has been linked to a Tennessee mother who was reported missing 10 days ago. Eleni Kassa, a 31-year-old woman, missing from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, was identified Monday evening by the Michigan State Police on Twitter as the victim found in the trunk of a vehicle. Police were chasing Sunday. The deceased driver and the suspect in the case was identified as Dominque Hardwick, who's 36, of Lebanon, Tennessee. Police did not identify the 34-year-old woman riding in the front passenger seat. She was detained and taken to a hospital to be treated for her injuries. Well, I think she probably needs to be arrested, because I am sure she knew who was in that trunk. That's why she was in there with her. In the car. Autopsy results for Hardwick were consistent with a self-inflicted shot wound. Police wrote in a Twitter post, the circumstances surrounding Elena's death have not been determined. Detectives are still interviewing witnesses, including front seat passenger in the crash. The incident occurred around 2 p.m. Sunday near the Dearborn, Detroit border. Dearborn police were chasing a 2020 black Dodge Charger SRT that was reported out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, to be involved in an endangered missing persons case. Murfreesboro Police Department in Tennessee is investigating the disappearance of Kassa. Said in a statement late Monday that the missing person investigation revealed that the possible domestic dispute incident occurred with Kassa and her girlfriend Hardwick after an argument at Kassa's Murfreesboro apartment. Kassa's cell phone and car were left at the apartment. Police said the two were believed to be traveling in Hardwick's black Charger. Murfreesboro Police Criminal Investigation Division detectives have been searching for Kassa for more than a week. They executed 2 separate K9 searches and spoke with family members and witnesses. They also had search warrants, including one for a home in Lebanon, Tennessee, where Hardwick had been staying. Kassa's family has a GoFundMe fundraiser to support in the tragic loss. As of Monday, the family raised more than $35,000. Eleni was a loving sister, niece, aunt, and mother of a wonderful 6-year-old daughter who now has to navigate life without her mother. The family writes, Eleni also lost her parents when she was 4 years old. She and her siblings were raised by their grandmother. They all grew up as a very close family unit. They have survived multiple adversities as a family, but never in our worst nightmare could we have imagined that this could happen to her of all people. Well, this could happen when you're in these dysfunctional relationships, especially with a deranged person, a deranged woman who thinks she's a man and she isn't, who's caught up in her feelings. You know, no matter how much they try to dress like men, they can't take rejection like men can. Now, there are men out there that can't take rejection. There are men out there that are thin-skinned, but they are, it's just either or, right? But when you have women who try to pretend to be men and dress up like men, they can't handle rejection. You reject them, they're gonna take it very personally, and they're going to get in their feelings and emotions because they're women. No matter how much they try to portray themselves as men, they're still women at the end of the day. On Sunday, Michigan State Police in Dearborn, it said Dearborn officers saw the vehicle with the Tennessee plate and caught up with it on Fourier Street near Warren Avenue, where it stopped on the right shoulder. As officers began to approach, the driver fled, MSP said. The officers lost sight of the vehicle and ended their pursuit while on eastbound Tyreman Street near Normill. Officers saw the car again, which appeared to have jumped a curb and crashed into a home. As officers approached the crash scene, there was an exchange of weapon fire between the officers and the suspect, said MSP on Twitter, referring to the incident as an officer-involved shooting. A 9mm pistol was recovered from the car. Dearborn police said Dearborn police have declined comment, deferring to MSP, which is leading the investigation. Kassa's family told the police that she failed to pick up her daughter from school and was last seen the morning of November 17th. She was believed to be traveling in a Charger. On November 21st, detectives saw the tag of the Charger in Ohio. Murfreesboro detectives contacted Ohio law enforcement officials after the tag on the Dodge was ran by an Ohio State trooper and then a Michigan State police, which helped with an investigation after a license plate hit in Oakland County, police said. This shouldn't have happened. This shouldn't have happened. This heifer, and yes, she's a heifer. This heifer, Dominque, should have been able to walk away. She couldn't do it because I don't know if it was an ego thing, but ultimately all of this falls on her shoulders, and she took the coward's way out. She ended herself because she couldn't face what she had done, because she not only had this body on her hands, but she has another body on her hands, and I'm gonna say alleged. All right, I mean, this was somebody who was a full-blown lunatic, somebody that had completely lost all sense of reality. She was all caught up in this situation with Eleni, who I think figured out, I don't want to be with this person. This person ain't for me. And instead of walking away, you take her life. Like, you didn't think you were going to get caught? I mean, it's unbelievable where we are as society. Absolutely unbelievable. So let me say in the comment section, let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.